This is the Glucomen LX Plus, and I'll explain the Plus later. Nice little bag, will fit on a belt, just there. Comes with your blood test machine, held in place with a nice little bit of elastic with a clear screen, so you can still use the meter. The Glucomen LX Plus does two things. It tests for blood glucose, like any blood test meter. It also tests for ketones, but it does both, which is unusual. I'll bring it out just to show you from the little packet. It's got some really nice features just as a meter. It's got this kind of rubberized side, which is quite easy to hold and gives you a bit of sort of traction. It's also got little rubberized feet again, so if you've got it down on a table, it's not skidding about, which is rather groovy. These little things are skins, so if you're not too keen on black or it's a bit too somber, not only are there different colours, but some of them have some groovy little additional bits of fun on the back. So your sort of typical sensors. These are kind of slim, and what you need to be aware of is that the gold bit and on the green side goes up, and it goes into the top of the meter. The actual blood channel is here, so you don't need to do anything to the machine. If you go as far as to put the strip in, it knows already that you're testing for blood, and I'll do a ketone one in a second. This finger pricker has got a piece of technology where there's lots of little bobbles on the end, and the idea is that as you blood test, the pain is minimized by the fact that there's a little circle, so your finger's kind of feeling a bigger bit of touch, so that when the finger pricker goes in, it's not quite so dramatic. It's perfectly fine to use. So in we go, and it counts down just in 4 seconds and gives you a blood test result, so 11.9. If this had been over 13.9, then it would probably be telling me that I needed to do a ketone test as well. Because I'm here doing this, I'm going to do the ketone test at the same time. So the difference with the ketone strips is that they come in foil, and when you open them up, they're actually of a lilac colour, so these are colour-coded like that. Similar thing, gold goes in the top and your blood channel's just there. An important thing to know about testing for ketones, you must use blood from your fingertip. You can't use alternative site testing, which you can actually use for normal blood testing. And here we go. And off it goes, counting down again. It takes 10 seconds to count down as opposed to just 4 seconds for the blood glucose. But as I'm actually only 11.9, which is a bit high, but I've only just had something to eat, it's saying low, so I'm absolutely fine. And there's no alarms going off, so this is good. And I'm quite happy that I've got a result of no ketones, and I shall just keep going with my day. The point of ketones and the point of having a 2-in-1 meter like this, if you have sustained high blood sugars, your body is going to start creating ketones. You can look up elsewhere on this site. I've done a video on ketoacidosis. It's actually usually known as Diabetic Ketoacidosis, or DKA. And it's the reason that most diabetics get hospitalized, especially type 1 diabetics. It's a persistent high blood sugar. And if it's not addressed, if you A, don't notice it, or B, don't start tackling it, you will probably end up hospitalized. How it's happening is that your body's breaking down proteins, and as a byproduct, ketones are formed, and they are in your bloodstream, and they're not good for you. Some people see a need for testing for ketones, even on a daily basis. Others aren't so sure that it's necessary. It's pretty much any time you're going over sort of 14.0 millimoles per litre, which some of us do on a regular basis, maybe post-meal, and in which case you probably shouldn't necessarily go and do a ketone test. Having said that, if you're ill or you're susceptible to sort of sudden high blood sugars or unexpected high blood sugars, it can help you to know if you've got ketones. Usually what you need to do is start taking more insulin and bring yourself down, but try and do it gently and keep blood testing. The main thing is to keep blood testing.